Hey, I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood, and today I'm in Beach Haven, New Jersey. It's pretty sunny out, so I'm gonna pull the glasses up, but it's pretty sunny out. And I'm down here. I want to talk about stripping wood. The reason we did that is because I'm just looking around at the house. We use a semi-solid on this house down here. Looks really good. You see the texture of the wood and so forth. Looks really good. When we first came down here to work on this, they asked us about the old stuff, would it strip off? Because they had put a solid on there. So we used our Stripper Plus. It came off, did a really good job with the wood. But the truth of the matter is, when you're stripping wood on decks and cedar siding, wood siding, fences, there's no guarantee it's all coming off. So the perception of most people is that use a stripper, it's all going to come off. Well, that's not going to happen. One, there's too many different types of coatings out there. And with these coatings, we have seen a lot of folks where they're using, uh, it doesn't matter what, different manufacturers, and different manufacturers have put different types of content to their stain. So when everybody, for example, if somebody were to mention Behr, we're like, oh, and everybody charges more. People start to try to take it off, realize it's not coming off very well, and they're gone. Sodium hydroxide on its own used to work on most of the coatings we used to use, but today they don't. And never get should never guarantee. And then if you're a homeowner watching this, there's no guarantee you're stripping it all off. You have to do some work. So if you want it all off, the fact of it, not fiction, is that you might have to replace the siding or replace the decking if you want natural wood again. Because when you make these solid and semi-solid choices, it's pretty much a permanent decision. Now, we had this all, if you've seen some of the pictures, we had this all the way down to bare wood again. And then they went back to using the semi-solid, which I thought was, a little crazy, but hey, I'm not the homeowner. But we were fortunate that it all came off, and we have good strippers. The company, my company, Deck Restoration Plus, has good strippers. So, fact and fiction, never guarantee, never expect that everything's coming off. We try to work on a 90-10 rule. We want to get 90% of it off, and then 10% we will sand, Osborne brush, and different things to prep it to get it off. When you have a solid or a semi-solid, again, depending on the manufacturer, it may or may not want to come off. You may be going back forth over or back over it with a solid. And when you do that, solids are a big deal because you go in and put on 3-4 coats, which we run into. People get 3-4 coats to peel a mess. Hey, Everett, Wizard, what can you do? Well, it's hard to do a lot with it. It's probably cheaper to replace wood at that point in some cases. Sometimes it comes off. Some of those products don't come off. When they don't come off, people go back over them with a solid. And then after you get 3 or 4 coats, it's just holding moisture and it's going to rot the wood sooner or later. So that's a lot of what happens. So anyway, just want to talk a little bit about that. If you're doing a deck, it's hard to get in between the boards. If you're doing cedar siding like this, how are you going to get in between? Is the stripper going to get in there? In some cases it will, in some cases it won't. So you have to, it's pretty warm summertime out here, dripping a little sweat. The sunglasses help, but I want you guys to see me better. Anyway, um, so solids don't come off. It's usually more of a permanent decision, semi-solids. People want to pick a color or what they're going to do ahead of time. That's like anybody who does that probably doesn't know what they're talking about when they talk to you about that. That's a perception and a fiction that a customer will create most of the time. And if a contractor says, oh, yeah, we'll put, whoa, how do you know? How do you know what's coming off, what not? How do you know what the wood's going to look like after you're done restoring it? The best time to do it is after all the work's been done on the wood and you've done everything you can and it's restored, it looks beautiful, hopefully it looks like brand new again. That's when you decide, am I going to put a transparent? Am I going to put a semi-transparent? Am I going to put a semi-solid or a solid? Now, what am I going to do with it? That's where the decision gets made. And then you get directed that way. If you have somebody telling you, oh, we're just going to stain right over it or paint right over it, probably not a pro. Probably a good painter maybe, but not a pro, not at wood restoration. Somebody says, oh yeah, we're going to get it all off. We're going to put a natural right back on it. Not a pro. Pie in the sky. They're the people that, doesn't all come off and then they don't come back to finish the job and you wonder what happened to them. So anyway, fact and fiction. Fact, you have opaque stains, you have semi-solids and solids, you don't know how much is coming off. Hopefully it does come off and you have good strippers and they take them off. But there's some that are going to be tough. Some of these companies have added like urethane content and so forth. It's a little difficult to get off. So stripping wood, the perception that it's all going to come off by the homeowner, by anybody who says it's all going to come off with that. A lot of times that's a crapshoot. If you've been doing it for long enough, you have a good idea of which ones are going to come off and which ones aren't. That doesn't always mean that they're going to come off because you don't know what's been done. I've had people take Thompson's water sealer with clear and put it over top of a stain. The next thing you know, you got build-up coats, this, that, and you can't expect any stripper to take off 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 coats at one shot. You might have a couple of strippers, a couple times of stripping. You might have extra sanding. There's a lot that goes into this. To me, every job's a snowflake. Everyone's different. We have to figure out how they're different. Anyway, that's from me today. I'm the Wizard of Wood, Everett Abrams, taking away some of the fact and fiction on stripping wood and stripping opaque stains on wood surfaces. I'm in Beach Haven, New Jersey today. I'm not going to head to the beach, although I probably should have brought a bathing suit down so I could enjoy this weather. Take care, everybody.